Away, away from the noise, alone with you.
Hi guys, I'm here in my daughter's room again. I wanted to talk to you today about D.N.A, the uniqueness of who God made you to be. There is an acronym that my good friend shared once that I absolutely love, and D.N.A stands for do not argue, meaning do not argue with who God created you to be. Do not argue with what you see in the mirror and what gifts, what talents, what likes, what dislikes you have. Everyone is unique, and I just want to share a few points about that. I had a hard time accepting certain traits and certain things about myself. I had a very low self-confidence. My self-image was shot. I just really needed a lot of healing in regards to this, and praise be to God, He has helped me make leaps and bounds in this area. So I just want to share, and hopefully this blesses you. The first scripture I want to share is from Isaiah 45, starting with verse 9. It says, "Woe to those who quarrel with their maker, those who are nothing but potsherds among the potsherds on the ground. Does the clay say to the potter, 'What are you making?' Does your work say, 'The potter has no hands'? Woe to the one who says to a father, 'What have you begotten?' Or to a mother, 'What have you brought to birth?'" And the next scripture I want to share is from Romans 9, verses 19 through 21. "One of you will say to me, 'Then why does God still blame us? For who is able to resist his will?' Verse 20, "But who are you, a human being, to talk back to God? Shall what is formed say to the one who formed it, 'Why did you make me like this?'" Verse 21, "Does not the potter have the right to make out of the same lump of clay some pottery for special purposes and some for common use?" There are billions of people on this earth. No two people are the same. And God created you specifically for His purpose and for His glory. And there's this book called The Circle Maker, written by Mark Batterson. He talks about prayer idiosyncrasies. And, idiosyncrasies, quirkiness, those are just details or behaviors or ways specific to an individual. In his book, he says, "One important dimension of prayer is finding your own ritual, your own routines. Just like Daniel, you need to find your open window toward Jerusalem." And, he talks about how he prays a certain way and stuff. And I could relate to that because I do pray a certain way. There are idiosyncrasies that occur in my life, not only in my spiritual life, but just in life in general. Learn to embrace those things. Theodore Roosevelt says, "Comparison is the thief of joy," and it's so true. We shouldn't compare with the person to our left and to our right because we're not like them. You can have the same question, the same wording, and say it totally differently. Like, how did you do that? And say it kind of like comparing or with jealousy or with like a turned up nose looking down at somebody, like, how'd you do that? Or you can have an attitude of humility and a desire to want to grow and learn, and you can say it differently, same words, and say, how did you do that? And learn and grow and embrace other people's quirkiness. I think that's why The Greatest Showman had such a great response, because they were all different and they were all welcomed. And that song, "This Is Me," talks about unapologetically being yourself. So I want to encourage you to embrace your awesomeness. And all of you have something to offer to this world. There is a website that I recommend. It's gallup.com, GALLUP.com, and it's something called Clifton Strengths. This website, it asks you a bunch of questions, and at the end it formulates your specific personal strengths, and I just want to read you my top 5. My top 5 are input, meaning gathering information. Number 2 is positivity. Number 3 is futuristic. Number 4 is achiever, and number 5 is intellection. And let me tell you, there's 34 strengths in this test, and when I got my strengths, it totally freed me, because I was able to say, yes, this is who I am, and there was no pressure to perform in the other areas, because I could just focus on these strengths and these idiosyncrasies and know that I'm being used to my full potential. So check it out if you'd like to learn more. I personally love it. The last scripture I want to share is Psalm 139:14, and it says, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. David was very comfortable in writing this. He knew that God took time to create him, and he knew that his work was good. In the beginning, God created, and it was good. The New Living Translation says it this way: thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Yes. Every one of us is wonderfully complex. And I think if we embrace each other's complexities and quirkiness, then we can really learn from each other. I want to leave you with a quote from the other Roosevelt, Eleanor Roosevelt, and she said, nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. So again, embrace your awesomeness, and I hope you have a blessed day. If you like this video, please share it, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And also, don't forget to subscribe. God bless you. See you tomorrow.
Away from the noise, alone with